Something kind of crazy about the upcoming eclipse season that we have is that the full moon in Virgo on the 14th is ruled by Mercury, right? And it's only a couple days after that full moon that Mercury is gonna go retrograde. And I think that that's real interesting because this full moon in Virgo is going to be the first eclipse that we're having in Virgo for this cycle, these lunar nodes, with the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo. And then the new moon solar eclipse on the 29th of March, that's going to be in Aries. We've had our eclipse nodes, our lunar nodes, in Aries and Libra for about a year and a half till they switched over recently. So the new moon solar eclipse on the 29th is like closing out a cycle while simultaneously starting one because it's a new moon. And then the full moon is like closing out a cycle while being at the beginning of a cycle. Interesting. The like crossovers. And the Mercury retrograde was playing a part in April. That eclipse season of 2024, Mercury was retrograde in Aries and we had an eclipse in Aries then too. And if you've been following me for that long, remember I said to write it down? Write it down. Don't just keep it in your head. Write it down. Keep it written somewhere. Keep records for yourself of what's going on. Write it down. You're about to figure out in this upcoming season, okay, why you needed to write it down. Why did you need to write it down? What was it that you needed to remember? What did Spirit bring to you that you needed to get clever with? So the full moon in Virgo is like a releasing of a contract. We're done with it. We don't need to carry it anymore. And what do I mean by contract? Virgo is the story of Persephone and how she ends up in the underworld, and then Demeter, her mom, coming back in to basically be like, hey, listen, we need her up here. We need her to help the flowers and the blooms and all of that good stuff. So like we need to figure out a deal, figure out a back and forth, right? So Virgo and Persephone being with the seeds as well, the pomegranate seeds and like eating the pomegranate seeds and then kind of unknowingly getting herself signed up to go into a contract where she is in the underworld. The lunar nodes move backwards. They go in reverse. So we're reversing contracts with the South Node in Virgo. Stuff that we signed up for that we didn't realize that we signed up for. Things we've been doing that we didn't mean to be doing, or exchanges that we went through that maybe were not of benefit to us that we don't need to be in anymore. Things that we've been bringing balance to also. So that full moon in Virgo is going to be a releasing of contracts. And then immediately Mercury is going to go retrograde, allowing us to bind new contracts. Interesting. And then Mercury is going to be retrograde for the new moon that's happening on the 29th. Interesting. And the Mercury retrograde on the 29th is going to, on the 30th, I don't know the exact timing of the 29th or the 30th, but it's after the eclipse. It's like right after the eclipse. Mercury, that's in Aries, where the eclipse is, will pass into Pisces and become exactly conjunct with Neptune, right as Neptune is crossing into Aries. What the heckity heck is about to happen? I don't know, but I do know that it's something. Because I'm looking back at what I wrote down on that new moon solar eclipse that was happening in Aries, and I kid you not, I was scribbling and scribbling and scribbling. I couldn't write fast enough. That's how much information was coming through. I was scribbling and scribbling and scribbling and scribbling. I still got somewhere over here all the papers, okay? Scribbling and scribbling and scribbling and scribbling. The spirits were yapping and yapping and yapping, and I'm really grateful for it, okay? And it was yapping. They were talking and talking and talking. We're getting released out of a contract. Go look back. Go remind yourself, what were you doing April 8th around that time, that eclipse season? That was the eclipse and the solar eclipse in Aries. Go look back at that. What were you doing? What were you focused on? Okay, now what contract could you be in that has been inhibiting you from being in that work that was happening in the Aries stuff? Because the full moon eclipse in Virgo is going to release us from the contracts that we are in that don't allow us to actually do the work of the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. And then the new moon solar eclipse in Aries is going to happen, and Spirit's going to bring through like so many messages. It's just going to get dropped on us over and over and over and over and over again. Yeah. So prepare yourself, because we've got the new moon coming up in Pisces the 28th of February, and that kicks off our eclipse season. kicks it off, starts it, activates it, right? The new moon rolls over the moon cycle. Interesting. Rules over the moon cycle. New moon rules over the moon cycle. So because the new moon's going to be in Pisces, even though it's not the eclipse, it's going to be ruling the cycle that the full moon in Virgo is going to be in. That will be important later this year when we do have an eclipse in both Pisces and Virgo. So, however you weave it, believe it. Yeah, crazy. Congrats on the releasing, the no more. Congrats on the reopening of the door. I'm looking forward to this. The studies abound, because the stuff that Spirit had me alerted about on that eclipse when we were going through the new moon solar eclipse in Aries on April 8th, I cannot explain to you how happy that space of wisdom makes me. It was math related, it was order related, it was time related. It was like quantum physics stuff, okay? But focused on math theoretics. I don't talk about that kind of stuff on our pages really that I have going on the internet. And I say our pages because hello, hi, you're here with me too, But also if I could sit around and study something every single day, maybe I don't want to do it every single day, but you know what? It is what it is. It would be that stuff. It would be that. I love that sort of stuff. My first video that ever went viral on TikTok was a video about the Fibonacci sequence. I've always loved math. Always, always, always. And I love astrology too. And I'm not going to stop talking about astrology. You know what I mean? It just feels like there's about to be another kind of like space or place. Place? Spirit's been telling me I'm going to be placed soon. A placement? Place. It's like my favorite place. I love numbers. When I was a kid, before I'd fall asleep at night, there was a chapter of my life where I would intuitively count, not add, not addition, not this number equals this. I wouldn't think about it. It was just a natural flow. I used to lay in bed at night. I was probably like 6 or 7 years old. I would lay in bed at night and I would think about, so good. Thank you, Spirit. I would think about the Fibonacci sequence. I didn't know that's what it was at the time. I just wanted to add the numbers with the one that came before. I just did it because I wanted to do it. And I would sit there and I would think and I would think and I would think and I would think and I would think, and my brain would go 1 and 1 and 2 and 3. Not with the and, but it is what it is. And I would go until I felt myself be like, oh, I have to add the number now. Like I can't be in the flow of it. It wasn't a memorization thing. It was literally just like, I know the answer without having to think about it. Being a math-brained kid is weird. Anyways, it was that kind of stuff that was coming up for me on that April 8th new moon solar eclipse when I was scribbling and the spirits were yapping and talking. And so cool, man. Cool, dude. Cool. Don't know what to expect on the sense of like specifics and interesting. So go brush up if you feel like you need to. No rushing on the brushing, but go take a look before we get to this new season in the next couple of weeks. Because I have a feeling this eclipse season is going to change a lot of our reasons. It's not just this eclipse season that's playing a part in that. There's a lot of other transits that are like shifting around in the next couple of years. There's a lot of different reasons that are going to be changed in the next couple of years. This season is a part of that. It's like a start of that though. So expect there to be some change of reason in this upcoming eclipse season. Even if you don't know what the change of reason is yet. Sometimes that's a difficult place to be in, to be honest. As someone who loves to understand, not understanding, not my favorite place to be. But sometimes it's necessary, so discernment. Sometimes it's learnment. That's true. Okay. Gratitude, reverence, and love to you. Keep up your brew. Keep doing what you need to do. I might start making math videos. I've been saying that for years now. It just hasn't been time yet, so maybe it's time soon. I don't know. We'll know probably in the next couple of months. And I'll talk about it if and when I'm ready to, And I'll talk to you soon.